Alright everybody of YouTube, it is endoskeleton day for the Redline 67 Nova. I've gone ahead and pulled out my rotisserie door braces. Those are great when you've got the car and it's whole and you're rotating it and you're just looking for a little extra rigidity. But in my case, all of the metal from this car, literally the metal that I'm sitting on, is about to be removed. I've got rust all through the trunk pan, all through the floor pan. The front firewall on this thing, even if it was in great condition, looks like hell, so I'm going to smooth the firewall. We're cutting out all of the steel basically from the bottom end of this car. That means we've got to build an endoskeleton out of square tubing, so we're going to go ahead and get started on that. I do want you guys to know, I don't know if this is necessary or not, but I went ahead and took the weight off of the rotisserie ends and set it down onto jack stands so that it's resting from the middle of the car. I've done this with the intent that the car is not under any stress. Nothing is trying to contort right now. It's just sitting on jack stands. That way when I weld in this endoskeleton, I can feel confident that everything is where it should be. That makes all the difference in the world later when you're trying to get all of your door gaps and your panels and everything to line up, because you haven't built the car where it's kind of squished. So let's get started. First things first, we got to remove a little bit of the old paint in order to get our door braces welded in. Pick a spot that's got good structural integrity, as well as something that's easy to fix and clean up those welds later. I'll share with you guys a neat little trick. Get yourself one of these little boogers, an angle gauge, a little thing that's magnetic, sticks to wherever you want, right on the car, and will tell you the angle of it. So handy here, because when I'm taking a piece of square tubing and I mock it up trying to figure out what angle I'm going to cut it at, all I've got to do is turn this little booger on, set it right there, and she tells me 66 degrees. Alright, so it's time to weld our first brace in. I'm just going to do a little test here to make sure that I'm not going to burn through the tubing and that my gas flow looks good. Alright, looks good. Let's do it. Watch your heat carefully. That one may have done fine for a tack weld, but I put a hole right there. Neat little fun fact, notice how there's a crease in the door seal right here? This is a great place to weld our door brace to because we've got to do some body work to straighten this out anyway, so if I weld to it, no big deal. Our handy little tool tells us 11 degrees is what it leans back at. We'll factor that into our cut. Alright, so let's just kind of mock up where this next brace is going to go. Set my angle tool on there, and I can see that's going to lean at about 69 degrees. Factor in that extra 11 and make our cut. All right, let's cut our second brace. Quick side note, I think I paid about $2,500 for this saw back in 2000, back when every product that Redline had was handmade by yours truly. I realize having a saw like this around is not realistic for most guys. Check out the line of saws on our website, redlinestens.com. Those things are really small, compact, affordable, and they're really nice Italian-made saws. Let's tack in our next brace. By all means, as you're making little scrap pieces, test to see if it's going to fit. This one I had no intention of making fit, and it actually is going to work out really well. Time to weld everything up complete. Where's my gloves at? Gloves, gloves. Shit fire gloves.
But you better not complain, boy. You get in trouble with the man. Left him in
Okay, so I've got my X braces made in both of the door jambs. Now it's time to tie them together. Now we're going to run braces in that corner way over there 2 over here. Looks like we got about 81 inches. Ought to take care of it. All right, let's tack it in. And I am closing my eyes to do this and typically looking away also. All right, I got my next piece cut. Let's get that tacked into place. Alrighty, let's weld it up on the inside right here in the middle. Get it from the other side. Do me a favor and don't hold this tack weld against me. I literally did that with my eyes closed. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece connecting it across here. You've got this wide open space where nothing really connects it from side to side. So since a stick of 3/4 is about 10 bucks or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece right across here just for the hell of it. All right, I've cut a piece to go across here. Let's get it tacked in. A bunch of the edges from the square tubing left over by the saw are really sharp, so I'm going to go ahead and knock those down with a grinder. Well, there we have it. The endoskeleton is done. I'm probably going to end up having to do something similar for the back of the car because the entire tail section as well as the floor pan have got to be replaced. So I don't see any getting around that. I probably have to add in some braces there, but I'm not going to show that to you guys. So that's this week's 1967 Redline Nova build. Click the subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube. We've got a whole video series of building this car from start to finish. Hope you'll join us and watch all of our videos. Check us out at redlinestands.com. And as always, appreciate you taking the time to watch.